Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic of discussion is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, that is COPD. We will take it in this lecture only as a topic. Then in the next I will discuss its history as shortness of breath. So it's basically a heterogeneous lung condition which is characterized by chronic respiratory symptoms like dyspnea, cough, sputum exacerbations due to abnormalities of the airway, or alveoli, which causes persistent progressive airflow obstruction. According to the GOLD 2024, there are different types of COPD, like genetically determined COPD, for example alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, COPD due to abnormal lung development, for example due to low birth weight or premature births, environmental COPD, which can be due to cigarette smoking or biomass fuel exposure, COPD due to infections like childhood infection or tuberculosis, then overlapping COPD and asthma, then COPD of unknown cause. Then comes the diagnosis and assessment. Diagnosis of COPD should be assessed in any patient who has dyspnea, chronic cough or sputum production, a history of recurrent lower respiratory tract infection, and a history of exposure to the risk factors for the disease, but forced spirometry showing the presence of post-bronchodilator FEV1 over FVC less than 0.7, that is mandatory to establish the diagnosis of COPD. So FEV1 over FVC ratio is compulsory. Along with that, the symptoms like it can be dyspnea, it can be chronic cough, or it can be sputum production or recurrent RTI, and exposure to the risk factor. So we label it as COPD. Then what investigations are done? Starting from the baseline, we can go with complete blood count to look for polycythemia, total leukocyte to look for any source of exacerbation of COPD. Then chest X-ray is not used to diagnose actually the COPD, but to rule out other diagnoses like infection or any malignancy or any other underlying process in the lungs. Then serum electrolytes to look for any hypokalemia, as if we are using inhalers, it can cause hypokalemia. Then spirometry with bronchodilator testing, echocardiography to look for any complications like pulmonary hypertension. Then IgE levels, 6-minute walk test. This is the bedside test to check for the exercise tolerant capacity. Then CT scan again to look for any other underlying disease process. Then comes what is basically bronchodilator testing, in which we can use either beta-2 agonist, which is 400 microgram short-acting beta-2 agonist, or 160 microgram of short-acting anticholinergic. Then FEV1 is measured in case of SABA after 10 to 15 minutes, and in case of anticholinergic after 30 to 45 minutes. Then the bronchodilator testing, if it's the ratio of FEV1 over FVC is less than 0.7, then it confirms that there is reversible airflow obstruction. So this is the classification of GOLD classification on the basis of FEV1 over FVC. If it's less than 0.7 and FEV1 is less than 30, it's GOLD 4. If 30 to 50, it's GOLD 3. If more than 50 and less than 80, it's GOLD 2 moderate, and if more than 80, it's mild COPD. So this is a GOLD classification depending upon the severity of airflow obstruction. Then MMRC scale you should be knowing for the history along with patient categorization and for the management, because we are going to classify and manage according to MMRC, the CAT score, and the GOLD classification. So grade 0 is patient gets breathless with stertorous exercise. Grade 1 is he becomes short of breath when he is hurrying on the level or walking up a slight hill. Grade 2 is he is slower than the people of his age because of shortness of breath. And grade 3 is he cannot walk 100 meters. Grade 4 is he is unable to do his self-care and go out of the house. So that's the Modified Medical Research Council scale. So this is the CAT score. It's basically a performa you have to fill to classify to score for COPD, and you don't have to memorize it, but you should be knowing it. Then comes the management, starting with the non-pharmacological management, in which smoking cessation is done, You have to counsel the patient. You have to recommend the physical activity. You have to recommend them the vaccinations which are to be done, like flu vaccination, pneumococcal pertussis, COVID-19 and shingles. Then pulmonary rehabilitation, including psychological support, aerobic exercises, nutritional advices. All these are coming in the pulmonary rehabilitation. Then these are the 5 A's, how you are going to ask the patient to quit smoking. You have to ask at every visit systemically about the use. Then you have to advise them to quit. Then you have to assess whether the patient has the desire to make a quit attempt or not. Or you have to assist the patient in quitting it. And you have to arrange follow-up contact whether he has quit smoking or not. These are the goals for treatment of stable COPD. You have to reduce the symptoms. Our main motive is to prevent the disease progression, to prevent any exacerbation, and to reduce the mortality, to reduce its progression to any malignancy. So this is the ABE assessment tool in which we are going to do the pharmacological management. In the next part, I will discuss its pharmacological management.